Hi geeks, I hope you enjoy your games. The newest entry to Dynasty Warriors series was released today. I have a lot of tons of tips to aid you. It will start with exploration info, then follow up by combat and battle mechanic, and end up with the new things Act 2 game. Distinguishing between activities and the battles on the world map. This game world map is vivid and vibrant. It allows players to explore different areas and engage in various activities. Here are a few notable ones. The first one is skirmishes. These are a brief and straightforward optional battle that may appear shortly after completing them. Second thing is missions. These optional battles have more objects compared to skirmishes and reward you with items and more guards, two more guards in the late game. The third one is story battles. These are marked with the gold diamond icon, including that they must be complete to progress further in the campaign. And the last thing you see more than three previous one are requests from officers. The unique character you see during the story sometimes appear on the world map and offering something and ask something from you, and they are go to three things. The first one are a short bounding season via the cutscene. You see it and your bound increase with them. Second one is a request similar to skirmishes, which also improve your bound with that officer. And the last thing they ask you are some training quests like kill some units or use some skills on the weapon or battle art, something like this, and they are not too hard. Gather resources and uncover secrets as you explore. The world is full with resources for you to discover, and they are not too many, but the most important of them are Pyroxene. These crystals are essential for producing gem in the inns, and I will tell you more about them later. Another thing you need to gather is a moongrass. These flowers change the power of that gem you produce with the Pyroxene. The third thing you can find, and they are hidden, really hidden, are old coins. They are 500 of them in the game, and some of them can be found in the world map, and the most of them will given to you after doing some missions and bring peace to each territory. And when you collecting the certain number of them, you can go to the Shujing retreat, which will get available after chapter 2, and you can exchange them with valuable items. And the last thing you can find in the late games are secret herbs. They are part of the side quest that unlock the very good hidden perks and skills which you need for your final fights. Upgrade your gems using Pyroxene. It is really important to frequently upgrade your gems by using these Pyroxene I told you about earlier. They shown on the map by the shape of the orange or the brown rock. It depends on you what you think about it. Then you can go to any city and enter to inn. Then you can change these Pyroxenes to gems, which have five kind of gems in the game. And the first one is a oblivion gem, which increases your attack range. The second one is a vortex gem. This one increases damage against enemy launched into air. And the third one is a screw gem. This one also increases your damage, but deal you when you parrying the attacks. Fourth one is a Velospirit gems. This one restore a certain amount of your health every time you defeat 100 enemy. And last gem is a ascendance gem, which active a chance will give you a chance to block an attack from the officer, and this is the real use one. I use this one for the whole game. Learn about all kind of weapon type in the game and associate skills known as battle art. There are several type of armaments in the game. For the first time they will drop from an officer when they defeat, you find it, and after that they will drop from officer. Also you can buy them from the shop in each city you enter. Also, each weapon has its own unique skills known as a battle art and special arts. The more time you use the weapon to defeat the enemy, it increases its proficiency. When a weapon's rank up, your character gain a level as well as it. Battle art are a skill that can be offensive or defensive in the nature. Special arts, on the other hand, not like them, but they used to interrupt enemy abilities when they glow orange, you will notice. And the thing you should know, weapon skills can be active as long as you have enough bravery, which will show you like an orange diamond above your health bar, and you can fool them by attacking the enemy's minions or the officers, general, everything to fool these diamonds. And when you use any skills, they use. Some skills are unlocked as you level up the weapon proficiency, and the other can be bought from the shop, but the best skills in the game will given to you when you do some requests for the officers and rise your bound with them. Try to complete multiple training assignments in the one season or a one mission to earn a more amount of skill point. As I previously mentioned, the unique officer in the world map will ask you for the training assignments, and completing these tasks will give you 15 to 25 skill points depend on how much they are hard and when you take them. Some of these objects are really straightforward, such as winning a duel or pre-several attack or something like this, but the most of them are weapon specific, like defeat a certain number of enemy with the battle art or something like this, use a attack charge or anything related to the weapons combat. And if you gather too many of these training assignments for the one weapon, you can save a considerable amount of time because you can do them in the same time. Sometimes two officers ask for the same thing with a different number, and if you like, it's note that you can change the weapon when you at the middle of the battle. Only you can stop the game, go to the inventory menu and choose a new weapon and do the assignments for that weapon, and you don't need to get out of weapon and enter it again. Unlock a skill that ground bonus attack and bravery. For those who play on the normal and the easy difficulty, it's recommended to unlock the skills that change and increase the attack strength, bravery, and they can bring extra meat bones to each battle. The higher your attack strength, it means more damage you can deal, and in result, you can clear the battle objects faster. And the bravery is your resource to use your battle arts, and if you have a more number of these bravery diamonds, and in the other hand you can charge them faster, it means you can use more ability during your fight. And also the meat bones are your only resource to recover your character health, so you need to bring more of them to each battle. Bases contain significant number of meat bones. As I said before, the meat bones the only resource you can use to restore your health, only free resource, and you can carry maximum amount of them based on how many skills related to them you unlock. And if you consume all of your meat bones, you don't need to be worried because you can go to base and find a lot of them there. And at the adopted rank, you can unlock the skill called the Meat Crisper perk. This one allow you to see the location of the vessels, have this meat bone inside them by using your Eyes of the Sacred Bird action. Get master in the dodging, praying, and do a lot of assault strike. The game has further a lot of fast and floated animation for the attacks and movement, and you can see it when you first time step in the first battlefield. but the game has a lot of offensive mechanics you should know, and also a lot of special attacks. First thing is blocking. Blocking completely negated all damage from the most attacks, but you need to be careful about the red glowing attack, which are the unblockable. The second thing is praying. If you press the block button at the right moment just before the opponent attack land on you, you can parry their blow and damage them by follow up with their own strike. The third thing is dodging. If you do it perfectly and do a perfect dodge, you will slow down the time for a moment and it will give you a window to land some hits. All of them are offensive, but we have one very special kind of attack called assault action. When an officer's defense pipes are fully depleted, you can see how many of these pipes they have under the nameplate. They will temporarily stand, and then you can go near them, and by pressing the heavy attack button you do an assault action which can defeat them, destroy a lot of health of them. In short, you have a special art to interrupt enemy abilities. As I said before, we have two kind of arts in the game, and one of them is a special art which has SP in the skill's name. When you use these skills, you can stagger your target, which can be the officer or some special troop. You can use it when they glow orange, and the game will tell you when you do it, they get stronger. Then you can do land some attacks on the officer, also do assault action on the troops. It's noted you have a one for default on your list called the palm strike, which has a short range, but if you progress through a story, you will find the medium and the long range special art to use. Win duels to reduce enemy morals. In some battles in the campaign, you will notice some generals ask for duels. Upon accepting their request, soldier form in the circle, and you will see a health bar above the screen. Half of it is blue and other half is red. You need to reduce all the red part and fill it with the blue, and you can do this by landing some hits in your skill, battle art, special art to interrupt enemy attacks. Do everything you can to fill it with the blue, then you can perform an assault to finish them. This one significantly lowering the morale all nearby troop. The rival general can also shift the matter in their favor by successfully landing hits. You must above this blow by dodging, blocking and praying, because if you die, everything will be destroyed and you will lose a lot of morale. Unleash your full potential with the Musou and the Musou Rage. The gauge located below your character health bar show your Musou, which is the ultimate ability, and it has a different animation depending on the weapon in your hand. As long as at least one segment of this gauge is full, you can activate your Musou to eliminate multiple enemy around you, and when it's reached to the higher threshold on the gauge, you can do your Musou Raid, and when it's active it has some effect on you, like your bravery reached the maximum and you don't use any diamond. When you do your battle art, also your battle art animation doesn't stop when you get heated, and depend on how much damage you deal to enemy, you will restore some part of your health, and at the end when it's fully depleted, you will unleash a very powerful attack called the Musou Ultimate. Utilize the tactics of your guard squad. A few hours after you entering the campaign, 11 guard will join you by ask from the Sao. They are loyal follower to you, and they enabling you to employ tactics such as powerful buffs and some offensive maneuver. Sometimes certain condition can trigger dramatic effects that lower an officer's morale. These can be activated when an icon appears over an officer's model while selecting that tactics. We have two kind of tactics. Charge type tactics are more effective when cast from the greater distance, and volley types tactics are more effective when cast from the higher ground. Preparing to encounter large forces and be ready for their grand tactics. Dynasty Warrior Origins give you a great taste of lone mercenary who facing over 9,000 soldiers. This is best showcased in the battles where the large forces awaiting you in the wide open areas, and it has some notes. You can defeat the number of the troops in the large forces until they retreat by defeating officer or generals. In some battle moments, a grand tactics may be activated by some generals or officer. These have high effects that you need to be aware of, such as buffing the generals or speeding up the cooldown time for their tactics. Fortunately, you can interrupt the casting of these grand tactics by completing some tasks or requirements, such as defeating the selected target it's shown to you. Your allies also can utilize their own grand tactics during this battle. Often, you will be asked to protect a shown officer or general until they finish the casting. Also, there are moments when the troops gather before advancing. If you approach a squad, you will trigger a charge or an ambush, swiftly causing disruption within the opposing army ranks. Allow a companion to assist you in your journey. Another important thing about the Dynasty Warrior Origin is to have an officer companion join you for certain mission during the campaign. Their number are limited. There are 9, 3 for each faction, but depends on their ability. This number is very enough, and you can perform some action with them like battle art chain. When you are linked with the blue line to your companion, you can perform chain battle art, and when you cast your skill, they might follow up with one of their own with you. Another thing is the extreme Musou. When you connect with them with the gold line, and when their Musou gauge is full, when you activate your Musou, they will trigger their own, and you can eliminate a large number of troops. And the last thing you can do is the officer switch, and when a companion gauge switch is full, you might see a prompt to switch to them. Doing so grant you temporary control of that companion for 1 minute at the maximum time, and it will allow you to utilize their weapon skill and rage ability. You can restart battles at a certain checkpoints. Are things not going well for your army, you dead, or important lord, general, or officer being slain in the combat? Do not worry, as the mission do not end when they are dead, and you don't need to start from the beginning. Instead, you can restart at the specific checkpoint, allowing you to adapt to evolving battlefield station. For instance, if your lead was by advancing force, you can reset from the checkpoint a few minutes prior to an event, so you can rush to their aid. Chapter 3 presents multiplayer branching path. The game has a linear campaign. However, upon reaching Chapter 3, player must make several crucial decisions. This choice regarding whether to join Cao Cao, Liu Bei, or Sun Jian have significant ramifications. At the conclusion of Chapter 3, player must side with one of the 3 main factions in the game, and after that they will experience the remainder of campaign from the faction perspective, and they only can have an act in the battle historical associated with that faction. For example, both of Cao Cao and the Liu Bei engage in the Liu Bu as he rampaged through the regions. Conversely, Sun Jian and his sons focus on laying to the foundation of the Eastern Wu in the Southland. Okay, that is all about my Dynasty Warrior Origins beginner guide, and I don't know and don't see anything new to the game that needed to be mentioned in this video, but you can mention them in the comment section. I will pin them as I said before, and I hope these tips helped you as you begin your journey as a wanderer in the land of revenge by endless conflict and the load being for control. But don't forget to subscribe to channel if you find this guide useful and like the content in this nature. And that is all. I worked on the game trophy guide in the PSN profile, and I will try to publish it in this week, and I hope I can do it. But don't forget to enjoy your games. Goodbye, geeks.